So we camped out by this public toilet last night. There's a nice flat spot here. Yeah. If you just come where people expect you to be, nobody will bother you. Oh, 我要3个。3个。
看样子就是。
他听得懂的。
他能听懂。只要你不讲方言，你说普通话，他能听懂。
你们是哪儿来的？
他从美国来。
你呀？
我从黑龙江。是。
谢谢。多少？3块。It's looking more like Colorado out here. It's cool and dry this morning, and I love that. Now, if only every day could start with 20 kilometers of traffic-free downhill. I did almost die a minute there when a car was passing and I slipped on the wet pavement, but we didn't, so it's fine. We're continuing towards Chongqing today, and we're not going to get there. It's about 200 kilometers, but we are most of the way out of the mountains now. So I think it's going to be mostly flat after that downhill this morning. Maybe a little bit more downhill, maybe across a ridge or something. But we're really close to the river now, so I think a lot of it might actually be on levees like we learned to love back in Hubei. We might also cross into Chongqing municipality today, which really doesn't mean much. It's kind of an extension of Sichuan province, but back in 1997 it was split off because Chongqing is just such a huge city. But the thing is, relative to the other first order municipalities in China, Shanghai, Tianjin, and Beijing, Chongqing is has a lot more rural area within its municipality than the other three. So you can kind of enter Chongqing and really not know that you're in technically the city, right? So you often see on signs here, they're not directing you to Chongqing, they're directing you to the Chongqing urban core or urban center, because that's what they have to call it, because technically the city is like the size of a small European country. I think it's like the size of Austria or something like that, but really only the urban core, which is still huge. You've all seen Chongqing on social media, I hope, but if you haven't, you're gonna see it soon. That's a hell of a road sign. Cute little town here at the top. And I think we've got nothing but downhill until the river. We're back at the river, everybody. The long river, the Yangtze River. I'm glad to be back, because not being there is being in the mountains at this point. Whoa, got ourselves a crunchy quarry here. Looks like Cripple Creek. I mean, it's a runaway one-way truck ramp, but it's looking a little worse for wear and not used, so. We're moving through some really different ecosystems today, from up on the mountains with all those cedars and other coniferous trees, and it's really dense, and now it's like kind of low and humid and just sunny. I wonder how much precipitation this region gets. It's a hell of a viaduct over there too. There she is, the river. Now, apologies for the light, because it's brutally sunny for me too. But I have been biking for 5 hours today and a little over 60 kilometers, and just reached kind of the first major city here along the Yangtze River. And all of today has been spent within the city limits, the municipality of Chongqing. And to be clear, I'm still nowhere near the city center of Chongqing. That is still another 150, maybe 200 kilometers to go. I will not get there today. But it's just, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about the quote-unquote biggest city on earth. It's, most of it isn't the city. It's just run by the city. It's hot. Yeah, once we got out of the mountains, the temperature just shot up. It's 37 right now. It was 38 earlier. Faye stopped in Gaojia. I don't think that he's moving today. I'm debating stopping in Fengbu here. I might try to get a little bit further along today. It's almost 4 p.m. so I might try to push a bit further, but it's messed up. It's not gonna be any cooler tomorrow, but in a couple days it is gonna start raining. So I do want to be in Chongqing for my rest days before the rain comes, and that way we can just ride out the rain in a really cool city. I'm basically going from patch of shade to patch of shade to stave off heat stroke. Oh, and reapplying sunblock, because that's definitely one very quick route to heat stroke, is to get sunburnt. The first time I've actually been happy to bike under these misters because it's so hot. Usually I'm just really not in the mood and it's a little bit too cold for them, but right now they're exactly what I want. So what you just witnessed is me becoming a victim of Chongqing's infamously insane road infrastructure. I wasn't supposed to hop on that spinny bit. So we're here underneath the bridge and we should have stayed at that level. Anyway, that river that we just crossed over is actually the Wujiang, the Wu River. And it is the main waterway that connects Guizhou province to the rest of China. It comes off of the Yangtze, which is like right there, and then, or what rather, it flows into the Yangtze over there, and you can trace it all the way back up into the mountains there. But it's really the only outlet from Guizhou province, which is one of China's major frontier provinces, and that it's always been really hard to traverse, and really the only inroad is this river here. So here we see the confluence of the Wujiang with the Chongqing, the Yangtze River, and you might be able to see how much lighter in color the Yangtze River is. I'm guessing it's carrying a lot more sediment than the Wujiang, and Wu means dark, so maybe that naming is because of the comparatively dark color of the Wujiang relative to the Yangtze River there. Here's open. Yep. Hose guy turns off his hose for me. Red Wine Town. Wild. Oh boy, it's another tunnel that I can't see the other end of because it's got a peak in the middle of it. Joy. Is that the light? I see the light. No, 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 no. That was my punishment for complaining all the time. We're making our final push towards Chongqing today. I wanted to get there yesterday, but we've got time today and it's not going to get us hot and it's not going to start raining until tonight. So, we should be fine. We've got 45 kilometers to go to get to the city center. Should be fine. It's going to be real traffic full though. I know I've got at least one more tunnel under some mountains, which the city has a lot of those. I mean, I knew that coming into it, but it is impressive. Yeah, and I'm gonna find a hostel probably in the main center of town. See you then. Okay, so in theory today's a short day, but a lot of it is just me looking at a map, looking at a really confusing interchange, and being like, okay, so where do I go? I'm picking the sidewalk here and hoping that it has a connection to the road that I want, because it is definitely the easiest place to go with a bike. It doesn't look like anybody else is using it though, so like maybe it doesn't connect to anything, which is very common for sidewalks in China to just like, if let's just say if this thing just ended with more fence across the path, that's something that I've experienced multiple times here. It's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Like, what am I supposed to do here? I'm just gonna go around it. Oh, it's a freaking staircase that I gotta go down. This is the kind of situation in which hydraulic brakes are really handy. I don't know what it is about this kind of bridge, but you don't tend to see them outside of China. It's just these big monolithic concrete pylons here. Probably because China has just a ridiculous capacity for concrete prefab, but they're pretty cool. You just don't see them anywhere else. Ayo, no! That's not where I'm going. How are we doing this? Okay, buddy. So in case you haven't been on social media at any point in the last, I don't know, 5 years, Chongqing is a ridiculously topographic city and has gained quite a lot of notoriety for that. So you can see we just came across the Yangtze River on that bridge, and we're still quite a ways above the ground. And that's how quickly it becomes below ground again. So we gotta rise up from the river of about, I don't know, 10, 15 stories within hardly any space at all. And we're not anywhere near the center of the city yet. That's where we're gonna be staying, because that's where the hostels are. And the city center is probably the most scraggly, steep area in terms of this kind of reputation. So I'm really looking forward to dealing with that. I think I'm gonna have to stay on these highways because they are keeping me above the madness, which we might have to deal with some of that madness in a minute here. We'll see. Well, this is a bit freaky and surreal coming across this bridge. We got kind of our prow buildings right there. Those are the ones that have the big famous light show, and this bundle of traditional style architecture down here you see on social media a lot. So like, I don't know, riding into this city, it feels like I kind of already know it from seeing it online so much. So with just the structure of the land, this is where the Jialing River, which is this one right here, meets the Yangtze River, which runs along that way. And it kind of bites inward like this. So the main city center itself is kind of confined to this peninsula. It's a bit like if Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania were one of the biggest cities in the world, which is a pretty cool dynamic, honestly. So just just checked into my hostel and I'm meeting up with Faye for hot pot now. Because he arrived earlier today. It took me a bit longer to get here. But he's a bigger fan of riding in the early morning than I am, so he can do that. That's what's down here when you're crossing the street, by the way. I just figured that was a pedestrian tunnel, but it's actually a whole food mall. But yeah, you can see there's not a crosswalk. You have to go down through there. Got a whole spread of hot pot right now. Waiting for most of it to cook. Just going a little bit at a time. We ordered the spiciest option, which is great because Chongqing is the spiciest city for hot pot. Go big or go home. This should be very spicy. That's good. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Reading really spicy here. Oh, that's great. So that's like your dessert to cool off with.